marketing department like the play on words of beyond repair, so that's what kind of we're going with here. And have to admit first, I'm not probably the best speaker, so you might see me refer to my phone a little bit. I was looking at everyone else doing it. I'm like, no one else has notes, but hey, yeah, we'll deal with it. So anyway, so I do want to also thank Michelle for putting on this event and applaud her efforts. I mean, I'm proud to be here, honored to be part of this roster, and hope that I could bring some value to these sessions. So I'm here to speak about accessories. Really, that's what we do. We are a wireless distributor of accessories. We are we're a leader in the distribution space of accessories. We've come a long way as an organization. I'm going to try and not make this a sales pitch about VoiceComm whatsoever, but more trying to bring value to what you guys do. But for us, just to give it a little, kind of history and bring it up to speed. And we started we've been in business since the year 2000. I've been with the organization about 7 years. For the first early part of our time, we were, accessories has come a long way, but we were catering to the mall carts and the kiosks, and as we evolved, we started working with some of the wireless indirect agents, and now we work with some of the largest indirects throughout the country. We service over 10,000 doors. I think I mentioned earlier when that guy was talking about that dropship, we have over 3,000 doors on that program alone. And we just thought with some of the kind of, what we've become, we feel are solid at, we feel naturally we are a good fit for this channel as well. And over the past couple years, we've been putting a greater focus into this channel, and we've recently hired a few individuals. Andrew and Jason are over there. They're part of the repair team, and hopefully you guys get an opportunity to speak to them here while we're here. And we just want to, be the most solid distributor we can be and bring value to your guys' organization from an accessory standpoint. So let's get it kicked off here. Why accessories? That's a huge number. It's expected to grow to $121 billion over the next 10 years. It's about half of that right now. So that's an insanely huge number of where the market is. And right now, we know it as being, I feel like I'm going to be regurgitating some of the things that a few people said up here throughout the day, but it's going to get beyond the cases and the screen protection and get into the home automation and the smart products. It's just, I heard a story once that someone told me the average person now has 2 to 3 accessories, and that could be your phone, your tablet, your laptop. By the year 2020, people are going to have anywhere between 10 to 12 accessories, and that's going to be all the things that are connected to your home and all the Internet of Things. So it's a booming industry, and we like the place that we're at in it because, as far as we're a distributor moving boxes around, so as those products evolve and change, we're going to be there to serve the market needs. So in terms of where it fits in with you guys as well, so here's a study that we pulled together as well. So the average smartphone user, Apple and Android, the average Apple guy is spending about $43 in accessories, and Android about $40. And the beauty of that for you guys is about 60% of that is after the activation. So there's been a couple times we've talked throughout the day. I've heard people mention the wireless carriers, and we'll talk about attachment, and they put a huge focus on trying to attach accessories at the time of the activation. It doesn't always work, and that's where there's opportunity for you guys to also sell accessories as well. So the huge opportunity is after 60% of people are making the decisions at that point in time. So there's different segments that we're going to talk about throughout this little session here, and the first one being value. Creating the value proposition, as people have talked about in here, enhancing the overall experience. The customer experience is everything. And a lot of times accessories aren't just, it's not, yes, we're in business to make money and we want to, as far as adding on to the profit and the revenue, but the experience, when people, you got the greatest opportunity. You're in your store, they've had a bad experience in terms of their phone being damaged. You get to protect their device, enhance their device, and make them more attached and committed to their device overall. So you're enhancing that experience by providing that added layer of service. What's beautiful about it is you have the natural question. I mean, a lot of times when you talk about sales, it's all about positioning and asking the right qualifying questions. I mean, you have the most natural question to ask: what happened? You know, and that could lead into if it had a broken screen, then maybe they need a protective case. If it's water damage, maybe they need a life-proof or a waterproof solution. So you guys have the perfect opportunity to ask the right qualifying questions that can lead to, you know, storytelling and putting them in the right products to provide the right solution to the customer. Along with that, studies show there are certain buying motives that customers have that lead them to making decisions to buy products. I think in your guys' environment, there's a few that really, really hit home to me. So, I mean, the fear of having their phone damaged again. I mean, that's one that you can play on the emotions, not play on the emotions to take advantage of the situation, but to be able to understand what motivates people to make this and why these present opportunities for you guys. Security, you know, the security of having that protection on their phone so that they know they don't have to, you know, have that reoccurring problem. I know there's a thought at times in the space where someone might say, well, I don't want to sell them a protective device or a protective case because, you know, that's going to minimize my opportunity for them to come back. I tend to think that's a little bit of backwards thinking. I mean, the chances of banking on someone to come back to you with a broken device a second time, I think you're better off maximizing on the sales opportunity while they're in your store. You also have recognition. Recognition, why I use that in this particular case is, this is a little plug for us. We have a lot of the most recognizable national brands. So by carrying the right products and having the right assortment, which we'll talk about throughout this presentation here, the recognition of the right brands can lead them to those decisions. Convenience, they're in their store. They're in your guys' stores, often for periods of time, as someone mentioned in here previously. So between fear, security, recognition, convenience, I think you guys have some of the motives that drive the customer's decisions. Let's talk a little bit about the profit, the reason why we're all in business for the most part, and how we measure results. I think one of the gentlemen was up here and he mentioned attach rate. So some of you guys may be doing some of these different practices and have these different measurements in place. So I'm really talking at the very, you know, basic level right now of how some of our, you know, history is, or we've grown up in the wireless indirect space, so we've seen how they have treated certain things. So I'm just trying to bring some of the way that they measure and perform to maybe some ideas that might be useful to you guys. So attachment rate, I mean, it's a basic formula that they use based on the number of devices they sell or activate versus the number of accessories they sell. So if they activated 100 devices, they sold 100 accessories, that's a 1 attachment rate. The corporate carriers, you know, some of them, the numbers that we don't work with corporate, but some of the numbers we hear from time to time with some of the indirect agents, they're averaging 4 to 5 attachment on accessories. In the indirect space, 2 to 3 is around the average, but I mean, there's, you know, if you measure it and you are aspired and you have the right strategy, you can absolutely get that number up there. The other way that people measure it is they might measure it by profit per opportunity. So, you know, however much money you make, you know, the total accessory profit divided by the number of repairs, and that's what you're measuring against. So what's important is to have measurements, as someone said previously, set those goals. If you don't know what you're measuring, then you're running blindly. So to have those measurements is hugely important. And just to kind of put that in and they use flat numbers here. I don't think every product has a straight $25 profit, but they're trying to tell a bit of a story when we put this together here. So you got traditionally there's 3 core products there's the screen protection, the charger or cable, and a case, or what we call the core products often. So, you know, if you make your profit on each one of those, that's $25 a piece. You could be walking out, if you get up to that 3 attachment, and those are, you know, and you're maximizing and selling at full retail value, you can make upwards of $75 on profit on accessories, just maximizing on that opportunity while they're in your store. Just put up a little ROI analysis here. So basically, when you factor in those 3 accessories, this is for one store. I mean, these are some huge numbers. $180,000 profit per year if it's around that $25, which again I think is a little inflated. You can make more than that on a case, or really depends on what you guys are selling at the MSRP for. But if you can attach those 3 accessories, or even 2, you're talking about $120,000. I mean, these are attainable numbers with the right strategy, with having the right products, with following along some of the things that we're talking about here today. I don't know why there's a blank in between every one of my. So my marketing department was cool with the Beyond Repair line, but they somehow my presentation. Anyway, so when we talk about those 3 core accessories, that's just core. It goes way beyond that. I mean, you have the you get into tons of all the portable power is a growing category. We're seeing headphones, and all the audio products and Bluetooth speakers become very, very popular as well. We're seeing the average selling prices increase within the channels as well, where traditionally someone might think, oh, I can't sell anything, over $100. We're seeing those trends increase greatly. What happens sometimes is, and I was having a conversation with someone earlier about this, is I think where the mistake happens is sometimes the people in the store, they sell out of their budget, and they get apprehensive about trying to position something that that they may not be able to afford, or they wouldn't want to spend for. But the reality is the consumers are out there spending. I mean, these brands are spending a lot of money to advertise, to market. They're doing a phenomenal job of building that awareness. The people are out there and they're willing to spend. Beyond the different categories of products in that ecosystem, a plug for VoiceComm here, we have over 40 brands of all the national leading brands, from OtterBox to LifeProof to Mophie to JBL to Monster. I mean, we have all the different categories covered with all the different brands that you see in all the national retailers, from Best Buy, as the gentleman was speaking there, to all the Verizon stores and whatnot. Now, to get there, you have to have a certain strategy. This doesn't happen by accident. It's a thoughtful process that is strategic in order to get you to the results of those big numbers that we were talking about, that $100,000, that $180,000, that attachment. So how do you go about doing that? So obviously, you can use a company like VoiceComm with our huge accessory assortment that we offer, and the different layers of support and service, and our great account management team. But beyond that, it's really taking a look at what you're repairing. So you got to decide what you want to assort. And how do you do that? You have to have a strategy behind that. So if you're doing 60% of your repairs are iPhone, you want to have an offer that mimics what your repair selection is looking like. If you're doing a lot of iPads, iPad minis, or whatever the different device mixes that you tend to be repairing, that's what you want to have assorted on your wall. And then you want to kind of take that same concept. I mean, if you're doing a very small amount of Galaxy devices, you want to have 1 or 2 case selections, or a very select offer for that. But for the devices that are driving the bulk of your business, you want to have a nice offer, a good, better, best selection. So you're suiting all the different consumers' budgets and needs and people's personal taste and flavor. And then, as someone said earlier, I know the gentleman from Catalyst was showing a couple slides of what some stuff looks like in store, and that's just more of an image versus an in-store. But you want to have you want to develop a planogram. You want to have every product should have a place, especially of multiple stores, and you're building that brand that we've spoken about in here. You want that brand to be consistent from store to store. When you see how the national retailers are doing it, if you go into their stores, they often, you don't know which store you're in. It could be, that they have a concept, they have a brand, they have a certain way that they want that store to design, and it's well thought out. You want to build nice brand blocks in your store. So you have your Otter, or your Life, or whatever those products are that you're carrying. You want to keep them grouped together and build that store in a store concept. A lot of times you'll go in a place and the products are scattered throughout, just like some of the pictures that we saw, and there's a lot of gaps and holes or whatever. If you assort it properly, I mean, a lot of times we shop with our eyes first before our wallets, then we hear the price, we might, we balk or whatnot, but really it's the eyes. And not only in the eyes in terms of how the planogram looks, but it's also using premium quality products. I mean, taking advantage of, they spend a tremendous amount of time and marketing and effort to develop beautiful packaging. They have they do a lot in marketing to create brand awareness. So I mean, maximize on that, on what they're doing, ride their tails to have select the best brands for your planogram. And then if you don't have the wall space, I mean, one thing we've learned in working with some of the repair types is that, there's all different shapes and sizes and types. There's no one size fits all approach. So we do have a lot of options, and a lot of the brand manufacturers that we work with do have different standalone merchandising displays that you could take advantage of to increase your SKU count or whatnot for wherever your wall space, whatever you have as far as wall space goes. I mean, your real estate space is everything to you. I mean, every space or inch in your store, if you can make that a profit center for you, that's what you want to do. I'm regurgitating something else. So just like other people had said in here, I mean, really utilizing the marketing, the digital ads or whatnot. One thing I've always found interesting about digital ads is it's not only for the customers in the stores. I mean, sometimes when you have digital, or even they have like that retail radio where you got some ads playing over the speaker, sometimes just the consciousness of being put into your store associates' head over and over again, and seeing those videos and seeing the information, it brings more product awareness to them, not just the consumer in your store. So what do you got? So what we talked about is how to measure it to get the profits. We've talked about how to assort it and how to display it in the store. But ultimately, they want to be product experts. I mean, you guys know from your guys' standpoint, there's a high degree of training to get them to a point where they can repair devices. You guys put them through, some rigorous training methods. There's also training that takes place with accessories. Education is key. I mean, when you become experts of a product, you're better positioned to sell that product. You believe in that product, and you can often, it leads to results with the customer. A study has shown that we found through Experticity is that a trained consultant sells 87% more than a non-trained consultant. I mean, that's a lot more accessories going out your door if we go do some basic education. As far as education goes, depending on the brands that you select and things that we work together, we have a lot of the manufacturers we work with have different online training portals that allow you to go on there and you take certain modules or courses based on the products that you're carrying. You get certified or basically you pass the test. They give you a little Q&A at the end. You pass the test, and oftentimes there's a promotion for you to either get 50% off the item or a free item. A lot of them will offer to you. So you get a free product out of it. They call it a learn to earn. So you learn about the product, you earn a free case. We're actually in the process of developing a full training module that is going to be customized per customer. So if you're a customer, and you are a customer, and you select a certain amount of brands, we can load up the brands that you carry so that you and your staff can educate on those select brands. It's something that's in the works, and it's been in the works for a while, but we're really excited to roll that out this year. What I said earlier about the learn to earn, I mean, when people have used a product and they've had their own personal experience, they become advocates of it. They become product advocates, brand advocates. They're able to speak, they're experts on that product at that point because they've used it themselves. And let's face it, who doesn't love free stuff? I mean, we all want something free, so why not implement something as simple as training or utilize some of the training modules that we can offer to get this education to better position and sell some product. Another thing I'll mention is promotions, and I don't even mean just promotions for to the consumers, but promotions that you're running or contests, incentives, the way you incentivize your employees. I mean, I think it's important that people are incentivized. You create excitement, it drives results, and ultimately incentive creates habits. I mean, the incentive is what gets the habits, which ultimately create the results for you. We've done some studies where, and these are internal studies. One of the girls that works for us, her name is Sandy, and she loves to call herself the profit doctor because she loves her goal is to try and drive sales at our customers' doors. But anyway, we've done some recent promotions and activity with our customers, and we've seen 100% lift. And what's cool about when you run promotions is if you have a strategy where you do promotions month after month and you keep it as an ongoing strategy, then what happens is you get, not only do you get that lift that month that you're running the promotion for that particular product, and it may not stay there when you move on to the next product, but you often get a lift, and it is higher than where it was at the baseline. So by creating promotional activity and doing this on a recurring basis, you're working your way through the different product lines, getting your staff's familiar with the different products, and you get that overall lift in your accessory sales. And the other reason for the overall for incentives is, I don't know, as humans, we always have that what's in it for me attitude. So depending on how people are incentivized, again, that's going to create the behavior for what they do. So something you should look at and consider how exactly you're paying your consultants or your sales associates or people in the, as you guys have been calling it, the front of the house. I learned that today, the front of the house. I'm good with that. So, so that's something you want to pay mind to is how you're paying people. So. And then ultimately measuring all this stuff. Smart man once told me early in my business career, what gets inspected gets respected. And the saying has resonated with me, because if you don't pay close attention to it, then no one respects it. But if you're measuring it, you're holding accountability, and you're rewarding for it, then I think you're going to ultimately get the results that we're all looking to achieve, which is selling more accessories and buying them through VoiceComm. So just to recap, we talked about the value, we talked about the profit, having a strategy, again, the strategy being hugely important for finding the right products, displaying them right in the store, and then training the individuals and best positioning them to be able to sell product. So why VoiceComm? VoiceComm is a premier mobile accessory distributor for the North American market. Our diverse, high-profile product portfolio, coupled with our commitment to serve, has allowed us to quickly become the go-to destination for wireless accessories in the market. With a focus on what's important for the repair channel and beyond, we inspire through customization, develop programs and resources between the business's needs to succeed. Get it all in one place at VoiceComm. So that is pretty much all I have here. Thank you for all your time. I'm happy to answer any questions. Sorry if I breezed through that real quick. I did admit I wasn't a speaker. And I always clap for myself, so I'm doing it. Does anyone have any questions?
So where would we, or how do we, what do you call it, visual media?
To Dropship?
No, the visual media, the Planogram. 2D digital media, I think you call it.
If you have those, if you have the signs, so not only on our website, we have tons of, in every one of the landing pages for every brand that we carry, there's a media resource center that you can pull tons of different videos for. In addition to that, and I think we've had some people in here we've done this for, that so we, our marketing department will put together a little DVD loop or send you over a video as well. So, and we'll customize that based on the brands or the products that you're carrying, so it's relevant to your story. So, does anyone else have any other questions?
Just to add to that, there's a couple of services that are online that are easy for screen broadcast, that are SaaS-based. You can manage. So for those of you who have a couple dozen stores, you can actually manage your network. I can't remember there's one brand in particular that's really good, very cost efficient. So you can take Ryan's media and just plug it in, rotate it out, put it on a schedule, and manage a network pretty much virtually. If I think of it, I'll try to get it distributed through Michelle or something like that. But I did have a question on, because motivation is such an important key, the training and then making sure that your CSRs and your technicians are inspired, they're driven, and they're motivated, right? So can you give us some examples on some programs or incentives that you've seen successful, either in the retail market or in wireless indirect?
Oftentimes we might run different, really it could be contest based, so, there's different opportunity. It could be as basic of dollar type, contribution that you're making to them, or even a sell, a spiff on an individual unit that a particular manufacturer is running that month. They want to, drive sales, so that might be, we're going to pay your sales associates $2, for every unit sold. You provide us your point of sale data at the end of the month, and we pay out accordingly. Or it could be as simple as sell 3 units and earn 1. Again, that also gets the product back in their hands. So there's the learn to earn portion that we mentioned, which is educate yourself and then get a free product. And we also talk about sell to earn, which is, we put a criteria in place, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units, whatever it is for that particular brand, and then they earn one. And again, that's the value of them using that product. So, I mean, it can be simple as a spiff, it could be sell to earn opportunities. Really it's endless in terms of, kind of how you want to position it. We do have an individual on our team who will work with our manufacturers and our customers and try and develop those win-win kind of solutions or whatever. Anyone else?
How much input do you guys have with the actual manufacturers, Otterbox and Spigen, and as far as feedback that we give you, whether it's colors or customer preferences or issues that we're seeing?
That's going to vary. I would say with someone like Otterbox, being how large they are, I'd say a very small influence in terms of what products they're going to manufacture. But someone like Spigen, not as, although Spigen has grown in terms of their awareness, but some of the manufacturers we work with, we do have influence on, and others I would say not. So, I mean, it's all over the place with that.
Is there a minimum cost of entry for these guys to start using products that you distribute?
No, not at all. It's just as simple as going on the website, create an account on our website, and off we go. Yeah, we get you established. I mean, within 1 to 2 days, we can have you up and running and ordering. The only holdup becomes is all these different brands that we carry. They've all gotten, over the last couple of years, they have all these authorized reseller programs. So now we have to make you fill out 40 applications just to do business. It's not our rules, but we do follow them. So that's usually the only holdup.
How do you guys handle the warranties for the products?
Most products, as far as what we support, is like just a very basic 90 days, 90-day warranty. Some of the products that we carry, they prefer that we redirect them back to the manufacturer because they want to have that direct communication with the consumer so that they control the experience. Like Otterbox, for as an example, and that's come up a couple times. They prefer that we don't handle the warranty. They'd rather the retailer direct the consumer back to them. They have a very friendly, easygoing warranty, and they want to be able to make that touch with the consumer themselves. So, but on the majority of the products we carry come with a 90-day warranty with us, but they often have a much more extended warranty through the manufacturer.
Dropship program, is that just through or in partnership with IQmetrics? Or is there another way?
It is. That's, and I know it got mentioned earlier, and I can see that where that could be somewhat misleading or confusing for the group in here. So it is currently through IQ. Now we've seen the success of it, and we've realized that not everyone's a partner of IQ. So we've got some creative things that we're doing behind the scenes that kind of give like white label sites or whatever, white label websites that, we have one that we've rolled out currently, but we got to work through some kinks and things like that before we go wider with that. But we see this as absolutely the direct fulfillment, the drop ship, the direct to consumer is a huge, that omni-channel experience is huge, and it's one that we want to kind of lead the charge with. We were the first company that developed that with IQ. We have a vendor managed inventory program with them, and they saw some of the slick reporting and the different interfaces that we built to coincide with their program. And as they were struggling to launch this dropship, and they had the concept of what they were trying to do with their integration, they came to us and our program, our development team, and we actually wrote it from the distribution side. We were the first ones to create the APIs from our side to tie into that. So we're really, really proud of that. So I will plug us even more, I guess. Can't help it. Any other questions?
Is there any type of buy-in for the dropship program or a guaranteed sales quantity you have to meet?
Yeah, I mean, you got to be a partner. At this time, it's primarily a partner of IQmetric. And then even then, I mean, we are opportunistic about it. We make sure we're doing your in-store business and a certain percentage of it. And yeah, we do try and use the opportunity to make sure that we're kind of a true partner and not, being cherry-picked for a service or whatever. Anyone else? All right. Was I too quick?
That was perfect.
Perfect? Awesome. Thank you, everybody.